welcome to Once Upon a Die. Hello! Hello everybody and welcome to Once Upon a Die. This is a slightly unusual video for me, mostly because this is being pre-recorded. This is not going out live. That said, I'm going to treat it as live. I'm not going to do anything different. I'm not going to edit this in any way. It's just going to go out as I record it right now. And the reason I'm doing this way is because I am about to take part in IndieCade, which is the International Festival of Independent Games. It's running right now. I believe it started either yesterday or today. This is October the 16th, 2020. And I am going to be playing through Tim Hutchings' extraordinary solo RPG, 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. Those of you who've been following my stream for a while, or if you've been nosing around my YouTube account for a bit, will recognize this game because I've played it before, and I played it live on stream. Tim reached out to me afterwards, a while after, very, very kindly said he very much enjoyed my stream. We've been chatting for a while since, and I suddenly got a message out of the blue asking if I would like to present the game and demonstrate the game for IndieCade, which of course I was honoured and delighted to accept. So that's what I'm going to be doing. If you are interested in this, up in that corner, beside the IndieCade logo, you will also see my link tree. That has, if you type that in, it's just linktr.ee/onceuponadie. And that has the links to IndieCade's Twitch stream where this is going to be going out. And it is going out on October the 18th. That is Sunday, October the 18th at 6 p.m. EST. If you are watching this well after that, then by this point, hopefully, that video will be up on YouTube. I'm not multicasting it to my channel by their request, which is perfectly fair, but after the fact, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. So if you miss this at IndieCade, don't worry, it will still go up. In addition, you will also find there the ticket link. Now, it is free to watch. You can just go onto Twitch and go onto IndieCade's Twitch stream and you'll be able to watch me play the game. But if you would like to actually participate more in IndieCade and see more of what they have to offer besides the streaming content, this is their... I'm just going to hide myself for a minute. Anywhere and Everywhere is the name of their... this year's offering, because it's all gone online. And you'll see at the bottom there the ticket link, anywhere.indiecade.com. And in addition to that, I have a promo code that I can offer you. If you use the promo code HAPPY2020, you will get a discount on tickets to IndieCade. So there is a little incentive for you guys to buy a ticket to IndieCade, support indie gaming, and yeah, hopefully this will give you an opportunity to see a little bit more of the offering that's on hand. Now, those of you who've watched my... Oops, I took the wrong thing away. That's not what I meant to take. That's what I meant to take away. Those of you who have watched my stream before will notice immediately one difference, which is I do not have my overhead camera. There are no dice rolls in this video, so I don't need to worry about it. This is purely going to be me creating the vampire that's going to play the game. But I do want to take a minute before that to show you this. This is... if you saw my original playthrough, you'll have seen me play with the PDF copy of 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. This is the printed copy, and it is a thing of beauty. This thing is stunning. I mean, firstly, have a look at this gold embossing that's on the front. I'm just going to show that in the lights because I can't hold the book up correctly while I'm doing that. But this book, this is a solid hardback book, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I got this in the post. I bought it even before I was, I think maybe even before I played my stream, I forget, or certainly during or shortly afterwards. And it's stunning. The detail in this book is something else completely. For a start, and this was in the PDF as well, but every page, oops, where's my camera, under these prompts has these beautiful pictures in the back. Just kind of, you know, not being too ostentatious, but just there, adding a little bit of flavour to the prompts that are in it. Oops, I should turn my... that's funny, literally as I'm recording, IndieCade just started a rerun on Twitch. even the way the rules are presented in this game, they appear as these little notes that have been slipped into this book. And the conceit here is that this was a book withdrawn from a library. Like, even the stains, I can't work out which finger I should be moving there. These stains that are in the book, like the rips and the tears, you know, even the side of the book is a little bit frayed, and that's all in there by design. You know, here's a page that's been sellotaped together. There's no sellotape, that's printed in. But my goodness, it adds to the character of this game. It's actually very, very much worth noting, this game, and I posted about this on my social media, when the Ennies were kicking around, this game was up for Ennie Awards, and I am delighted to say that it did in fact win some, and I've got them written down. I wanted to make sure I actually get the correct award levels for each one, because it won 3 Ennie Awards, very, very deservedly, I think. And of course, now that I wrote them down, they're not coming straight back to me when I try and pull them up. But it got, you know what, I'm not even going to try and remember, because I'm going to get the gold and silver mixed up. Wow, the Ennies were further ago than there we go, that's where I wrote them. So yes, this got Silver Award for Product of the Year. It got Gold Award for Best Rules, which I mean, I support both of those fully. It's an amazing game. It deserves the second place best product. But also the rules in this are so well written. It's not difficult to pick up how to play this game. So very, very well deserved gold for the rules, and it also got gold for best production values. And this book is absolutely why. Even the PDF is great. But this is truly brilliant. I also read I think on Tim's Twitter, that there are a couple of secrets hidden in this book. I have not had the opportunity to go looking for those yet. But I'm very excited about the idea that there are little secret things hidden in here, and I will dig them out at some point in time. Anyway, what this video is it's the character creation for the game that I'm going to play for IndieCade. I intend to continue this game after the fact, but because I only have 55 minutes to stream for IndieCade, including saying hello, any explanations I want to do, and wrapping up at the end, I did not want to be creating the character on stream, because that could easily be most of it. So I'm creating the character here instead, and I'll have posted a link on my Linktree and on my social media to encourage people to go and find out who it is I'm going to be playing. So that's this video. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive straight in. Character creation for this, I've already gone through, and it's basically everything that is above me in my Evernote note here. So it's the name of the vampire and who they are, the skills that they possess, their resources, their characters, and the mark, associated characters, I should say, and the mark that sets them out as a vampire in the first place, and you create one memory for each of those. I'm not going to go through a full explanation. I will post, when I post this on YouTube, right down below there, you will see a link to my original playthrough, and that first video contains the tutorials. So if you don't know how to play this game, go and check that out. But in brief, the game is a compilation of memories. Your vampire is 1,000 years old by the end of the game, ideally, assuming they survive that long. And their life is made up of a bunch of memories. You can have up to 5 memories at a time. Each memory consists of up to 3 experiences, and once it has 3 experiences associated with it, it is full. Those experiences should be related to the core subject matter of the memory, and it is in your interest to try and fill memories up rather than creating a 6th memory, because the moment you create a 6th memory, your vampire has to forget one of the 5 that they already have, and that information is gone from your character. You strike it out, and it's done from their sheet. You can, if you wish, down here in the bottom, just to this way, you'll see diary. You can create a diary that has 4 memories in it, and you can write things into your diary, or draw them, or however you transcribe things in your vampire's world. In my first playthrough, I actually had a diary at one point. There was a tapestry. Was it a tapestry or a vase? I forget now, but it was something that had drawings on it, and that was the memory. But you can save 4 memories, and in doing so, you preserve them as long as the diary still exists. So you can theoretically have 9 memories. But any memories written into the diary, your vampire has technically forgotten, so he only remembers them exactly the way you wrote them down. So if you are halfway through trying to reference one of those and you go, oh, but this happened, if it's not written there, didn't happen anymore. Your vampire can't remember that detail. Anyway, we don't need to worry about the diary right now. That is later in the game. Right at the beginning, we're going to have 1 experience each in the first 5 memories. The first one is simply who you are and your past. The next 3 will relate to your skills, resources, and characters, mortal characters, and they're your friends, how your vampire develops into their character. And the last one is relating to the immortal character they know who turned them into a vampire in the first place. So those are going to be the 5 memories we're going to create right now, and without further ado, I'm just going to get on with it. I am going to read from the book, just so that we know exactly what it is that we're doing, and that is as much of a teach as I'm really going to do in this game. So vampire creation, firstly, we're going to start... Oh, I'm very sorry if there's any flickering in this. I'm hoping there won't be, but I've been having some difficulty. Apparently, with the latest Mac OSs, OBS has difficulty capturing a window. I'm going to do the best I can to minimize that throughout this video, and it'll be a learning experience for how I then go on to actually play this for IndieCade. Anyway, I will try and minimize that. Start by imagining a person in the distant past. A Roman emperor, a Mesopotamian midwife, a French knight. This person will become your vampire. Imagine when and where they were born and who they were in life. Start a memory with 1 experience that encapsulates their history. The first experience is a little different than most in that it's a broad summary of the vampire's life before becoming an undead thing. This will be slotted in as the first memory. So that is what we're going to do first of all. I haven't done much pre-planning. I'm going to come up with most of this off the cuff as I go right now. The one thing I did do was I came up with a name, because I'm terrible at thinking at names on the fly, and so my vampire's name is going to be Duncan. Now, Duncan, who am I? I am Duncan. I was thinking with this game about how esoteric I wanted to go in how I played the game. Did I want to... I was very, very interested in the idea... It says start with a character in the distant past. I was actually very interested in the idea of kind of starting somebody in kind of like a post-apocalyptic or cyberpunk alternative world. And using that as a basis, so we went for something really different. You know, not even Vampire the Masquerade style, like going for something more futuristic than that. Like put a vampire into the Blade Runner universe, that sort of thing. I decided not to do that because I only have the hour to demonstrate the game, so for anybody who is not going to watch more of this, it made more sense simply to create a world that was a little bit more familiar for vampires to be in. So, I am Duncan, an English nobleman. I was named Earl of... Where am I going to be Earl of? Earl of... Earl of Blackbridge. And... I enjoyed the power that came with my position. What else do I want to add in here briefly? I enjoy money and the trappings of wealth. And I have little time for those... Oh, I just realized I need to scroll down, don't I? Whoops. I have little time for those who scuttle around me. My advisors are there to deal with those people. So, that is who I am. I'm going for a huge opposite of Walter, who is my original vampire. He was a carpenter who just wanted to do good. Duncan is miserly and not the nicest individual. Let's just put it that way. In fact, no, I'm going to save that for a second. Alright, so that is my first memory. We're now going to create 3 mortals and add them to the record sheet. These are people who are related to the vampire in some way. And we're just going to know a little bit about them. They may not be around for terribly long. When I do my characters, I'm going to write either M or I prior to describing them, which is going to define whether they are mortal or immortal. Mortal characters will die, and any mortal character we cannot expect to be around for particularly long in our vampire's lifespan. Immortal characters, who's to say? That kind of depends on the world that we create. So we shall see how they play out. But first mortal character is going to be... let's come up with... I'm going to have Lillian, my wife, far too concerned with the well-being of the commoners. Disobedient and undutiful. She doesn't do what we say. She tries to look after the people and is just not there when she's supposed to be, as far as we're concerned. This vampire is extremely haughty. Yeah, so that's the first one. Next mortal is going to be Charles, my son. He is going to be a headstrong and willful boy. A little fanciful, but will make a leader. With a little wisdom and guidance. So that is our second mortal character, is our son. I'm going to add to that my pride and joy. I care very much for my son. He is somebody who I am extremely proud of, and just need to get him into the right frame of mind to be Earl after me. And then we're going to have Mason. Last name, don't know his first name. In fact, that's going to be a thing. I don't know his first name. He maintains my mansion. Owes me money for a vase that broke while he was repairing a window frame. So Mason broke a vase. Mason didn't actually break the vase. The vase was not terribly well placed. That's a bit meta. That's not my thinking. As far as I'm concerned, Mason broke it. But he was repairing a window and jogged a table on the other side and the vase broke. He owes me money for it. I'm not paying him until he's paid it back. So, those are our 3 mortal characters. We now go for 3 skills fitting their lot in life, and 3 resources that they have obtained while mortal. I'll do the skills first. Skills are not constitution, strength, intelligence, that kind of thing. A skill is something much more specific in this game, and yet it is somehow able to open up a wide variety of options based upon it. So we are going to have one of his skills is going to be I have a commanding presence. Interestingly, with this one, I don't know if the commanding presence is actually the skill so much as my belief in the fact that I have one might be the skill. Nevertheless, that is the first skill. Just to give you an example, by the way, I've gone past. I didn't go over skills, but skills that they've got here. They could be something like swordplay was a skill that's suggested in the book, or relaxing banter. But then things like I do not blink the sand away was a suggested skill. So that's kind of where I come. I like coming in from the slightly more ephemeral, vague end of what something means. And for that reason, and one of the skills I'm going to use in this, and this one's a little bit more on the nose, and it's going to sound a little bit more like a belief, and I won't know how to use it as a skill until I find the right reason to use it. But I was going to write this in memory number 1, but I've decided it's more of a skill than anything else. I deserve my lot in life is going to be a skill. What that means, I'm not certain yet, but we'll find out. I really enjoyed doing this in the playthrough that I did before. I created these skills that had slight vagaries to them, and discovering how they came into being was really, really interesting. And it's one of the things I love about this game is the discovery involved. Skill number 3 for Duncan. He's an Earl. What would his third skill be? Let's think. He's miserly. I don't think he'd be good at counting money. He just enjoys having money around him. Okay, skill is going to be... I recognize... quality in what? I recognize quality in pottery. That's going to be his collection. He has artwork, he has musical instruments, all the things you would expect somebody overly rich to carry, but he doesn't really understand any of them. Pottery? That's where it is. One point of note, there's going to be, you're going to see the red dots indicating I've misspelled something. Obviously, I'm British. I am not going to correct British spellings when they come up. Otherwise, depending on what I write, I could just be doing that for the whole video. So I'm just going to leave them. I'm going to get rid of this one. Oh, there isn't an ignore button. Great. There's probably a change of language. I will try and change my language before I continue on with this. But I don't want to spend forever and ever correcting spelling for British words. 3 resources that they have acquired when they were mortal. Well, the first one of those is easy. Blackbridge Mansion. Oops, that should be... And I'm going to add a note to this. And this is one of the very, very key things that's in this game, is you want to be able to mark out which of your resources are stationary. This is a stationary resource. What that translates into is if I am forced to, or if I choose to move, I lose that resource. I can't take my mansion with me. But I think that that is an immediate resource that he would have. So he's got Blackbridge Mansion. A stables full of well-bred, but... No but. I was going to say but unkempt. I'm just going to say well-bred horses. I was going to say unkempt horses because he wouldn't care for them, but actually I think that's something that he would care for because, you know, it's important to look good. So, of course, he looks after his horses. So a stable of well-bred horses. And then... the seal of the earldom of Blackbridge. He has the Earl's seal. That, stamp a letter with the Earl's seal and anybody's going to believe it. His reputation might change how that is perceived, potentially, but the letter will be taken seriously. Show it to somebody and they will know who you are. I think that's what I'm going for with that. We'll see how that plays in. But that seal is going to be very important to him because it is a symbol of his authority. And he likes authority. So that's our resource. Next up, create 3 more experiences, with 1 experience being entered into a separate memory. So this will be memories 2, 3, and 4. Each of those should combine 2 of your vampire's traits. And by traits, that means these 3 things up here: skills, resources, and characters. So I've got to create an experience each for combining those things. So let's have a look. What can we do? All right, I'm going to lose this. I'm going to take this phrase out of Mason's description, and it's actually going to become the memory. Mason was... Oops, I'm just going to do that so you can see this. Mason was repairing the window frame to my study when he banged the wall too hard. He knocked a vintage it's going to be a vintage vase. A vintage... I'm trying to think of the right word. Let's just create a house. The vintage Crowford vase, Crowford pottery, very, very well renowned in this version of England that I'm coming up with. From its table, and it smashed how do you spell irreparably? Yeah, there we go. He now works for me to pay off the debt he owes. He asked if I would give him a stipend for his wife and daughter, and I said that she could find work for herself. Who was he to ask such a question? I'm already feeling slightly uncomfortable about Duncan, to be honest. I very much wanted to play a darker vampire than I did the last time, so bear with me while I do that. So there we go. That has used Mason, and that has used I recognize quality in pottery. My second memory. This would actually have been earlier in my life than memory 2, but this is just where it's where I've thought of it. I'm going to say coming home, or coming to Blackbridge Mansion for the first time was a homecoming for me. I had been passed over for earldoms and the such like, I guess, for far too long. And my time was here. I knew no sooner did I see the full size of the house. Wow, I can't spell today. The full size of the house. Just going to add some space at the bottom there. No sooner did I see the full size of the house, then I knew that I was finally where I should have been for the past decade. The commoners bowed to my coach as it drew me through the town, and I prayed that I would not have to deal with them more than absolutely necessary. So there I am using Blackbridge Mansion, and I deserve my lot in life as being the two elements for that memory. Memory number 4 is going to be when Charles was 5, his nursemaid tried to take him into the village for the fair, saying he liked the sound of the music. I had her fired by the housekeeper and ensured that word of her disobedience reached the surrounding stately homes. I'm going to leave it at that, actually. And I'm going to create, because you can do this at any point if it's relevant, I'm going to create a new mortal character. And that is going to be Iris, the maid I had fired for trying to take Charles into the village. We'll see if Iris becomes important or not. She might be nothing to this story, or she might be quite important. I don't know. But just writing that, I'm sensing somebody who might be a thorn in Duncan's side, and I'm kind of liking that. Oh, while I'm at it, I'm just going to rename the file here. Duncan. Okay. Then, so I've done that. Lastly, we create an Immortal. This is the creature that gifted or cursed your vampire with unlife. Create a mark and an experience that explain how your vampire became a creature of the night. So this is the final part of character creation, and will be the end of this video. We have to create an immortal character. And that character is going to be... let's think. Who do we want this to be? Roland. Vampire. A maddening fool who plays at being a nobleman but cannot prove his provenance. He made me what I am. So Roland, rather, is going to be our maker, if you like. Actually, one thing I'm going to do, just because I find this makes it easier for me to see how many memories, how many experiences each memory has. I'm just going to bump these all down one. Because that way, once one has got 3, it's much easier to spot. What did I go with? I went with Roland. Roland. Roland Abernathy visited me as a friend of my uncle. And who pressured me into accepting the guest. I had never met him before. And he seemed to me to be an insufferable twit. He did not take either his status or mine seriously. And his outlook on life was far too uninvolved and carefree. I woke in the middle of the night one time to find him leaning over me, my right arm throbbing with pain. I struck him with my left, and he fell from the bed, but got up laughing. In a half-asleep fright, I flung my letter opener at him, and it pierced his chest. He pulled it out, giggling, and dropped it to the floor. Before running from the room and vanishing from my estate. Unexpected. I didn't know where that was going to go. Oh, actually, last thing. I picked up the dagger. Well, I guess it's a dagger, but the letter opener. And there wasn't a drop of blood on it. That was how we became a vampire, and that's just given me my mark. I do not bleed. I cannot allow myself to be cut in another's presence. One of the marks of a vampire in this, they don't bleed. Why? Who's to say? Maybe we'll find out. We don't really know. But this is our vampire, Duncan. This is the character that I will be playing, and that is everything to do with him. I'm actually going to give him a resource. The iron letter opener. I attacked Roland with. That's an extra resource he has. He carries that letter opener with him. Why? Who's to say? There's nothing in the rules to say I should create an extra resource right now, and I'm kind of taking a bit of a liberty by doing that, but I think it's just very, very relevant to the character. Skills and resources will be expended during the game. The prompt that I roll up in the book might state that I need to use a skill or discard a resource, and I'm kind of giving myself a slight advantage by giving myself an extra one. But I think it's relevant for the character. Not to mention, it's very likely early on in the game I will probably lose Blackbridge Mansion, because staying put for any length of time in this game, at least based on my previous playthrough, seems to be rather difficult. But it seems to me relevant that would be, given that Roland disappeared completely, I'm going to actually add to that character. I don't know where he is. It seems to me very likely that Duncan would keep something about his person that would allow him to maybe locate Roland one day. So there we go. Those are our 5 memories. So Duncan is not a particularly nice individual. Oh, goodness. Pardon the noise from above me. He has a very commanding presence. He believes he deserves his lot in life. And he does at least have some skill in recognizing quality in pottery. In terms of resources, he has his mansion, of course, as well as a stable full of horses. He has his seal, and he has the iron letter opener that he used to attack his own attacker. Character-wise, his wife is still alive. He doesn't consider her to be particularly obedient. He wants a far more obedient wife, which, of course, isn't just, but that's his character. And his son, who is his pride and joy. Other characters he is related to at this point in time who have a significant part in his life are Mason, who owes him a lot of money for a broken vase, and therefore he kind of uses as an indentured servant, more or less. And Iris, who he had fired for trying to take Charles into the village to have some fun, because mixing with the commoners is not on for this character. And also Roland, this foppish vampire, who... is that a part he's playing? Is he just this carefree character that makes people let their guard down? Or is that who he truly is? Is he potentially slightly mad? We don't know. The key thing is that vampires in this universe don't bleed. And so Duncan cannot allow himself to be cut in anyone else's presence, which could be challenging. And we have our 5 memories. I'm just going to gently scroll through them. Feel free to pause if you want to read through these. If you're watching this... well, of course you'll be watching this on YouTube, because that's where it's going. I'm just going to gently scroll through them until I get to the bottom of the 5th one, and that's going to be the end of this video. And the adventure will continue on Sunday, October the 18th, 2020, at 6 p.m. EST, at twitch.tv/IndieCade. That is IndieCade as it is spelt up there, IndieCade, and I would love you to join me there and find out more about the mystery of the character of Duncan the vampire. I just realized that's also hidden all of that stuff, so I'm going to go back up to the top so that you can see my, my socials and the IndieCade logo up there. So once again, Linktree it's going to contain a link to this video. It's also going to contain the link to IndieCade's Twitch. Pardon the noise above me, by the way. I think, unfortunately, something just got dropped in the house. The link to the IndieCade Twitch and the link to the tickets there, as well as a link to my original playthrough of 1000-Year-Old Vampire. And if you would, that's specifically to the first of 3 videos. And if you want to know how this game is played, if you don't know, how I'm going to be playing it, I will not be explaining much during the actual playthrough during IndieCade. But if you watch that first video, at least, that will give you the teach of the game. The Twitch account up there, of course, is mine. If you'll be seeing this on YouTube, head over to twitch.tv/OnceUponADie. I would love you to follow me there. And if you would like to subscribe, that would be welcome as well. But just having the following right now would be fantastic. And then there you'll see a Discord link. If you want to join that Discord channel, that is the Discord channel for myself. Also for Moyle's Meticulous Minis. Check out Moyle's Meticulous Minis on Twitch and on Instagram. Scott is a fantastic miniature painter who paints miniatures and does commissions, but also paints for his own games, and is an all-round excellent host at talking for 5 hours while he paints miniatures. So I highly recommend his channel. And the Discord also features Into the Meepleverse. That's MEEPLEVERSE, Meepleverse. And that's my friend Billy and Maggie, another friend, who run a podcast together. And Billy turned it into a Twitch stream for lockdown. So check out twitch.tv/Into the Meepleverse to see some awesome board games being played. He has people in his bubble come and play with him, but also check out the podcast Into the Meepleverse, which is where he originally started, and they have now restarted recording episodes of that, so the podcast is back and live. Do check that out. For myself, in case you don't know my work, I do solitaire board games and RPGs, and so do feel free to follow me on the socials. All my social links are in the link tree up there. And also check out my podcast, also called Once Upon a Die, which looks at solo board gaming, and that has been on hiatus for a couple of years, but I have episodes in the can that are going to be coming out towards the end of this year, so it will be back on its feet very shortly. In the meantime, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this character creation, and do tune in to IndieCade if you can. Remember, check out it's anywhere.indiecade.com for tickets, and use the promo code HAPPY2020 to get a discount on those tickets if you would like to. Join me at the stream October 18th, 6 p.m. EST. And after the fact, if you're watching this after that time, please do check out the remainder of this playlist, which should have the playthrough of Duncan, so that you can find out the story of what happens to him throughout this game. In the meantime, thank you so very much. I hope you stay safe, take care of yourselves, have a good weekend, and keep rolling those dice until the game is done. Bye for now.